All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of Talking Tridents. Today, we wanted to take a walk down memory lane and maybe trigger some of you Mariners fans out there and talk about former prospects and how they turned out, mostly busts. And yeah, since we're in the spirit of spring training, let's get into it.
No, with spring training going on, there's not a ton of news, so I thought it'd be fun if we were to both throw out some failed prospects names that we've talked about in the past. Mariners have an extensive history. I'm sure,
Oh
as most
boy.
teams do, but with failed prospects who are top 50 plus prospects who are drafted before some really big names who just
Yep.
never panned out. And Robles, I'm glad it's had a change of scenery. He's come here and it's now working out. I hope all of our hitting prospects coming up the pipeline are going to produce in some way, shape, or form for the team.
Yeah.
What are some names that you have that are some failed prospects that you just it pains you to talk about?
This topic is the Mariners fans' worst nightmare.
Hmm.
It's something that keeps us up every night dreaming, what if? It's going
What
to
if?
trigger a lot of fans. And I mean, back to all the prospects that should, could have been or should have been what we thought they were going to be, Mariners would be the best team in baseball for the past like 5 years, but
Hmm.
or
Even the
longer.
Astros, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so Well, there's a few obvious ones that are, most recently that everyone knows, but there's a few that I kind of a deeper dive past mid 2000s point that I think are good to mention. But if you want to start with just, the most recent ones, Jared Kelnick.
Yeah.
Think about this: Jared Kelnick, Kyle Lewis,
Hmm.
Evan White. Those are, I mean, those are the three biggest, I think, most recent ones
Yeah. I
that
mean, Evan
haven't
White was
worked
given a
out.
contract before he played a single at bat above Double A.
Yep.
They had a lot of hype for him. They had a lot of hope. Same with
Yep.
Kelnick. They tried to extend him beforehand. He obviously did not do that. Which, looking back at it now, he probably should have. That would have
Yeah.
given him a guaranteed 30, $40 million when he's maybe made a total of five in his career total so
Yeah.
far. And um,
Yep.
I mean, we saw him have a really good year once, and then just went right back to unfortunately not producing, and that it happens. And then Kyle
Yeah.
Lewis, obviously rookie of the year 2020 in the shortened season, very weird time to play and to make your
Hmm.
debut, or at least your full season debut. Um, and
Yeah.
now where are they? I mean, Evan White's a prospect in the Angels system, if you can call him that anymore. Kalnick's fighting
Yeah.
for fighting for a 26 roster spot on the Braves with the signing of Profar. And then Kyle
Yep.
Lewis, I don't even think has signed at all. I think he's still a free
Nope.
agent. So.
He's still a free agent, last I saw. Yeah.
Mhm.
So at one point, that was our future right there.
Yeah, that was our outfield. That was going to be then with those two with Julio and Evan White at
Yep.
first base. That was
Evan
going to
White at
be
first.
our 1 through 4 hitters. I mean, that's what they
Yep.
were saying. So
Yep. Crazy. Uh, do you have any more recent guys?
no, the a lot of my guys are from when we were growing up, from when we were
Yeah. Same.
14 to 20 years old.
Yep.
Um, some names here. I'm just going to throw out some names going from as farther back to more recent. But Adam Jones is the first guy I got on the list. We know how
Man.
good of a career he had with the Orioles. He really picked it up and had a few All Star appearances. We saw him in the World Baseball Classic a few years back, and he was just a great guy, great player, on and off the field. He really made it happen in all regards of the game, and
Yeah.
he never became a Mariners mainstay, and that's
Nope.
hard to see.
Adam Jones was a stud. I loved Adam Jones. But yeah,
Hmm.
most people forget he was a Mariners prospect. He got called up with the Mariners, and we traded him. And then he went
Do you off the top of your head remember the year he debuted with us?
2004, I think.
It was a little bit after that. I'm looking it up, so I'm not going to guess because I don't want to be that guy. But yeah, '06 he made his
2006.
appearance.
Yeah.
'06.
Okay. Yeah.
Within 4 years in '09, his second year with the Orioles, he was an All Star.
Yep. Yeah, we were really young at that point, but I know once we got a little older, he was one of the main he was one of the big names in the league for a while at center field. So
I
yeah.
remember when I was growing up and starting to focus more on baseball stats and where people came from, not just enjoying the sport. I saw that Adam Jones was once a Mariner, and
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was like,
remember this at
what?
all. I don't
Adam
remember him
Jones?
playing at all.
Why would the Mariners trade him? Yeah.
He
But
had a
he
4-year stint from 2012 to 2015. Each year was a 3.5 WAR or more. Each year he had 27 or more home runs, and each year he was an All-Star.
yeah, yeah,
Imagine if you added him on the roster with Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, and Kyle Seager.
yeah, crazy. Yeah, he actually worked out in the league, not with the Mariners, but he worked out
He did.
overall.
He's one of those
Now,
failed Mariner prospects.
yeah, but he eventually became good. Now, I have a couple names from that era as well that didn't work out at all. First guy, Dustin Ackley.
First and second. Full count. Set. The pitch. Swung on and missed.
That was the next one. I mean,
Yeah, and the other one was Nick Franklin. I don't know if you remember him.
oh man, I have a shirt. I have his T-shirt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Nick
Yep.
Franklin number 20 T-shirt somewhere. I mean,
Yep.
he came up to the league and hit what 20 home runs in like 45 games.
Yeah, got it, something like that. And then he just,
That was it. Dustin Ackley though, I had his stats pulled up. He was the next guy I was going to talk about.
yeah,
His first year with the Mariners was, what year do you think it was?
2012, I think.
2011. He came up
2011.
and broke, and he was a draft pick. What year was he drafted?
2008, I think.
Do you remember
9.
who he was drafted ahead of?
Yeah, Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
I'll never forget that.
Mike Trout.
Yep.
Dustin Ackley, his breaking, his 90 games, his rookie year, 90 games. He had 3.7 WAR, pretty solid. I mean, that's kind of what we saw with Robles last year. 6 home runs and an OPS of 766. Great. That's a great rookie year. I mean, that shows that he is taking the league by storm.
Yep.
He is making things happen. He accumulatively the rest of his career the rest of his year cumulatively was 4 WAR, and that's over the next 7 seasons.
Yeah.
His first season, he had half of his WAR.
Yeah. He was supposed to be. I don't even know what to say about him. He was supposed to be.
He was supposed to be him. He was him.
Yeah, he was him. He was supposed to be that guy. I mean, he was supposed to be Mike Trout, but in the infield.
He was.
Yeah. Crazy.
Another name I have that's going to be a fun one. He wasn't drafted by the Mariners, but he was traded. Can you infer with who I'm going with now?
From that.
He was traded over from the Texas Rangers in 2010.
Oh, Justin Smoke.
Justin Smoke, baby.
Yep. I was hyped when we traded for him, actually. Yep.
So he was on the Mariners from 2010 until 2014, so he had a good 5 seasons with us. He never had an OPS above 750. He never played more than 130 games. The next 3 years removed, 2017 with the Toronto Blue Jays, he had 38 home runs. He was an all-star with a 883 OPS.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah, he went off
situations.
when he went to the Orioles, yeah. But then he fell off after that.
Blue Jays.
Or Blue Jays, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fell off after that, yeah.
He did.
But yeah, he was supposed to be that guy, our big first baseman. Yeah. Hyped when we got him. Sucked when he actually played. I have another guy from that kind of
I bet
era.
I'm looking at the same guy. Do it.
Is yours a pitcher?
No.
Oh,
I have him on the list too. Go ahead.
Danny Holtzen?
Danny Holtzen.
Dude.
Second overall pick in 2014.
Oh my god.
2014 second overall pick. He never saw the majors.
Nope.
Once in his career. Not once.
Nope. Isn't that crazy? He was supposed to be like Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander type.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
I remember how they were talking about Kelenic, Lewis, and Rodriguez. They were talking about Holtzen, Paxton, and Walker. And
yeah, Taijuan Walker, yeah.
Paxton and Walker, they had productive careers. I wouldn't call them extravagant careers, wouldn't call them Hall of Fame careers by any means. They're not going to get a vote. But Paxton, I mean, he had a no-hitter. He had a 16 strikeout game. He was close to multiple more no-hitters. Taijuan Walker was traded to multiple contending teams, has made the postseason multiple times, and Danny Holtzen never got to experience any of that. That's how failed he was.
Yeah, he was probably one of the biggest. I would put him up with Dustin Ackley. At least played, but I would put Danny Holtzen probably. Yeah.
Safe go field.
Yeah, I would probably put Danny Holtzen 1 or 2 with Dustin Ackley in terms of biggest Mariners busts.
I agree. Another fun name I have is Jesus Montero.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I was
He
so
was
hyped for him,
I think he
dude.
actually did he come over? Yeah, he came over the same year as or a year after Justin Smoke. I think the
Yeah,
Mariners were seeing that Justin Smoke wasn't working out, and Jesus came up as a catcher, but he was seen as a first baseman.
yep. I remember
His
he played a little first base with us
yeah,
and catcher, but he had
he
some like off the field issues, I think,
yeah,
and then he just sucked too.
he had a lot of injuries off the field. I think he was
Injuries,
in a
yep.
car accident or something like that.
Yeah,
But his best year with the Mariners was his first year. A similar trend we've seen. He hit 15 home runs with 260 batting average and an OPS just under 700, and that was his best year.
yeah.
He after that he never played more than 40 games in a year, and 2015 was his last year in the league, almost 10 years
Yeah.
ago now.
He was supposed to be Cal Raleigh.
I mean, literally, he's a big-bodied catcher who is
Yep.
ready to play. Had allegedly a good bat, and just never happened.
Yep. I have.
I have one more name. How many more names do you got?
I go ahead.
My last one I'm going to bring up, and this is because I remember us drafting him, and he's still young. He's under 30 now, but Alex Jackson, he was our top pick back in, I want to say 2014 or 2016.
Yeah.
He was a number 6 overall pick. You know, that's
Hmm.
you hope something works out. He
Yeah.
never played for the Mariners in the major leagues. He was one of Trader Jerry's first traded away. He's
Yeah.
never played more than 52 games in the major league since, and he's still fighting for a spot right now with the Rays.
Yeah.
Another
Crazy.
young guy who Mariners were obviously hyped about and just didn't pan out, and that's how it works.
Yep.
But
Yeah. I. Yeah. Unfortunate. I have another name. I don't know if you remember him. He never saw the field with the Mariners. DJ Peterson. Do you remember him?
oh, the third
The
base
third
prospect.
baseman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember actually playing with him on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
He became a stud. I mean, I remember I
Yeah.
made my road to the show player. I was a Mariners. I think I was a Mariners shortstop or first baseman. I can't remember. But I remember, DJ Peterson came up with the Mariners, and him and I were making World Series appearances year after year for the Mariners on the road to the show.
Yeah, yeah. I would always bring him. I would always call him up like right away in the show because
Yeah.
I was so hyped to like have him. I'm like, oh, get him on. Yeah, get him at third. Yeah, never played.
That's an under the radar name. That's a name I don't really think about too often unless it's mentioned. So that
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah, I just remember him because I don't know. I was so hyped to like excited for him, and yeah, no, never saw him.
One of the main
Oh.
reasons that we wanted to go over this on our podcast is obviously the Mariners farm system is one of the most highly touted in offensive production right now. Of our 6 guys in the top 100 or 7, whatever that is, they're all position players.
Yeah,
We've seen the Mariners develop pitchers very well. I mean, of that whole list, there's only one pitcher we mentioned, which is Danny Holtzen. The rest have been hitters. So,
yeah,
it's good to be excited about these guys, but it's also good to remember that it's okay if they don't pan out because you hope that there's a next guy up mentality in that system. You know, you hope that, let's say Cole Young he does not pan out at all, and I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to be productive in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
Colt Emerson gets a shot. He doesn't pan out. You know what? Then you have what's the other guy's name?
Michael Arroyo.
Michael Arroyo. Yeah, you have him. So with spring training being now, it's a time to watch these prospects. It's a time to take it with a grain of salt and understand that even though they have this potential, there's always external factors that can happen.
Yeah, I wish all of these guys will work out that we have right now, but realistically they won't. The reality is they
imagine?
won't.
Can
But-
you imagine if you have a whole lineup with Montaz, Arroyo, Emerson, Young, who
Yeah,
else is on that list?
Harry Ford.
Sexton, Harry Ford. If you had those 7 guys in your lineup and they all panned out to be players, I mean, you're looking at the 2014 Astros. You're looking at the Orioles of the next few years. I mean, these are players that could be mainstays for a while until their arbitration ends, and then obviously, some go with no extensions and some get extended. So it's an
Yeah.
exciting time to be a Mariners fan. It's an exciting time to have this really great prospect pool, but we also got to understand that we've had this before, and hopefully
Yeah,
this is the time. I mean,
yeah,
if the same thing happens again, if history repeats itself, I'm going to be very disappointed. But I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but I'm also very, very hyped for what could be.
Oh yeah, it's still a time. Let's get hyped, Mariners fans. I'm hyped, but yeah,
I'm hyped.
it's
I'm
just
hyped.
funny to look back. It's funny to look back at all those names and think about what could have been.
What could
So
have been.
we'll see.
And with that, that is all we have for this video. Thank you guys for watching Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. Let us know what you have to say about what we talked about. Let us know in the comments down below, as well as check out us out on Instagram and subscribe down below. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yep. See ya.